You're listening to the Monday Night Community Show with Daniel on BRFM.
So we are joined with Robin from the Sheppey Air Cadets right here at BRFM on the Monday Night Community Show. Robin, it's great to have you back here at BRFM.
Hi Daniel, good to be back.
Now, I was wondering perhaps if we could start off with a bit of an introduction. Could you tell us a little bit about the Sheppey Air Cadets and also perhaps a bit about the history as well?
Yes, certainly. The squadron at Granville Place in Sheerness has been there since 1957, but we're far from being the newest squadron. There are squadrons that are considerably younger than us, and in fact there are also squadrons that are considerably older than us. In fact, in Kent we had one of the earliest squadrons, a founder squadron in Crayford. But yes, we've been there since 1957. Started off as a detached flight, which is a very small number of cadets, maybe 4 or 5 cadets. And over the years, we've developed until at times we've had 44 cadets. And at the moment, we have about 20 cadets.
So what is your role at the Sheppey Air Cadets, Robin?
Well, I'm the officer commanding the squadron. So I'm a Royal Air Force officer. I hold the rank of Flight Lieutenant. And basically my role really is to make sure that everyone else on the squadron does the things that they're supposed to do and that we're providing the opportunities for the cadets. And
Robin, I know you wanted to just introduce the Air Cadets and tell us a bit about them.
Yes, well, we've got 3 of the cadets from the squadron with us this evening. We have Cadet Corporal Tiffany Anderson, whose claim to fame this year is that she is the Mayor of Swales Cadet. We have Cadet Ellie Patterson, whose claim to fame is that she's going to do an awful lot of talking later on because that's what she's good at. And we have Cadet Sergeant Sarah Rush, whose claim to fame is that she's going to be on The Voice.
Right, so we'll be talking to them very, very shortly. But I know, Robin, you wanted to talk a little bit about where you're based so people know where you are.
Yes, we are at Granville Place, which is, of course, off Granville Road and just behind Millennium Way. It's a surprisingly difficult place to find because it's behind the big wall on Millennium Way and people don't know it's there. But that's where we are 2 nights a week and many weekends.
So what ages do you cater for?
The youngest that we can take cadets from is 13, and the oldest that a person can join is 16 years and 9 months. But once they've joined at that age, then they can potentially stay until they're 20.
Now, how many times do you meet up at the Sheppey Air Cadets, Robin?
So we are there twice a week. We are there Wednesday evenings from 7 through till 9:30 and Friday evenings from 7 through until 9:30.
We've been talking to Robin all about the Sheppey Air Cadets, and he's brought some of his cadets along with him. And we're firstly going to be speaking to Sarah. Sarah, I know you wanted to talk a little bit about being a sergeant and tell our listeners what that's like and what's involved in that.
Basically, last year we didn't have any sergeants on the squadron, so our CO, Flight Lieutenant Harris, put out a note on Final Parade to say if you were interested you need to write a letter, so I did and I got through, and then I got invited for an interview, drill, and I had to have an exam. I got the highest marks out of the 6 people who sat it, and I became a sergeant with 2 others, and when I became a sergeant, I became a senior NCO, and that means a non-commissioned officer. And then I could go on to do things like a drill instructor's course, a INCO course, which is an initial non-commissioned officer course at RAF Manston. So yeah, I've passed my DI course, which is drill instructors, so I'm now fully qualified to teach drill to the other cadets. And also I got put on the wing training team by Warrant Officer Hollenby.
Sounds pretty amazing.
It is.
Now, could you tell us a little bit about, I suppose, the bits you've enjoyed most, your best bits?
I don't really know where to begin with my best bits. I've been a cadet since I was 13, and I've gone through the ranks pretty quickly. Getting sergeant and corporal was a really good bit for me. I've been on pentathlon every year since I've been in cadets. That's 5 events, one after another, over the course of a weekend. I did my DI course, as I've just mentioned. I went to annual camp last year at RAF Cranwell. We went flying in a King Air jets. We had a water fight with the firemen's hoses, just things like that. It was really great fun meeting loads of people. Annual camp this year is to St Morgan in Cornwall. It was originally cancelled because of the Olympics, but it has been put back on and we're all really looking forward to it. And another thing, which I'm really, really looking forward to, is the Sun and Fun Kent Wing US Aviation Camp to Florida next year. I've been selected and I've paid my deposit, so I should be going to Florida to help marshal jets alongside the USAF next year, and being selected for that was really good.
So I was just wondering, what made you decide to join?
Basically, when I was, I think, 12 years old in Year 7, I had two of the staff members come to my school, Flight Sergeant Dolly White and Flight Sergeant Paul Worcester, and they set up a presentation about how fun the Air Cadets was. I was too young at the time, but I got a leaflet and I waited until I was 13, and I came down, I think it was the 16th of April 2008 I joined the Air Cadets, and since then it has been a blast. I really cannot imagine what I would have done if I hadn't joined the Air Cadets.
And we're now joined with Tiffany. Now, Tiffany, I understand you're the Mayor of Swales Cadet. I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I've loved being a Mayor's Cadet. It's a great opportunity to go out and see some new stuff and everything. And it's been great fun since I joined. Ever since I've joined, I've done the Admiral's Cruise with Patricia Sandel, who is my mayor. And yeah, I've got to do another event tomorrow at the Freedom Centre, which should be fun.
Okay. And what made you decide to join the cadets?
Actually, I joined the cadets because a mate of mine was talking about it, and it seemed really good, about all the stuff they do. They go gliding, and they have all the opportunities to go on camps and just meet new people, and everything just sounds really good. So I thought I'd go down for one evening just to see how it was, and it was fun.
Tiffany, I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about your best bits, the bits you've most enjoyed.
I would have to say the most I've enjoyed was gliding in the Viking. That was an amazing little adventure.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I went to RAF Kenley, 615 VGS. It was good. I remember the winch launch was excellent because you get pulled in so fast. You do like 3Gs, and all you do is shoot straight up, and as soon as the winch unlocks, you're just floating by yourself. It's amazing.
It certainly sounds amazing. And we're now going to be talking to Ellie. Ellie, I understand you're a newer member. Can you tell us what it's like being a cadet?
Yeah, it's actually really good. I mean, like, you're sort of, because I'm quite new to it all,
right.
I'm still sort of getting used to, like, people, like the sergeants and the corporals, sort of like, you know, like when they tell you off sometimes, but then, like, it's all part of the discipline sort of side of it, but it's really enjoyable, so, yeah.
So what have been your best bits, the bits you've enjoyed the most so far?
In April, I went on a camp in North Wales at the Llanbedr Air Adventure Training Centre, and I managed to climb Mount Snowdon, which is 1,085 metres high.
Right.
So that was a really good opportunity. And also, not too long ago, we went to like near Folkestone to Capel Ferm, and it's like a big parade, and that was a really good experience that I had with cadets. And I got to meet Air Chief Marshal Sir Steve Dalton, who's the Chief of the Air Staff, and I'm like talked to him and stuff. So that was a really good opportunity.
Ellie, what made you decide to join the Air Cadets?
It's quite a funny story actually, because I've always got on the bus to school, and there was a cadet from our squadron that got the same bus as me. I didn't know, and then I started talking to her, and she told me about it, and I thought that sounded quite interesting. So I went along. But also the thing about I wanted to join the forces for a job, but I didn't really know what, because obviously it's army and sea and stuff as well. So yeah, that sort of helped me. That's pretty much why I joined as well.
We've been talking all about the Sheppey Air Cadets this evening. We've been talking to a group of cadets that Robin brought along with him. Tiffany, also Ellie and Sarah. And I know we're now going to cover a little bit about if somebody at home is interested in becoming a cadet, what should they do?
If you've liked what you've heard, just pop down to 2316 Sheppey Squadron, Granville Place at Granville Road on a Wednesday and Friday night, sorry.
Check out the Facebook page as well. It's 2316 Sheppey Squadron. Just type it into Facebook. It's a group open, so check it out.
And even if you are a newcomer, we'll still have lots of things for you to do and throughout your stay.
So we don't bite. Come down and join us. Woo.
I'd like to thank you all for coming along and telling us all about the Sheppey Air Cadets and what it's like to be a cadet as well.
Thanks very much for inviting us, Daniel.